Hello, Legacy enjoyers. I've got a really special video for you because today I am joined by the one and only Michael Reed, aka Eureka22422.
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Super happy to be here. I know we talk a lot and communicate back and forth on ideas, but it's really cool to be in one of your videos.
Awesome, thanks. And yeah, if you don't know Michael or have had the unfortunate occurrence of facing Eureka22422 in a league or challenge, in my opinion, he is one of the best blue-black reanimator players out there. I look at his lists kind of as a baseline to see where he's at. He top eights all the time, devastating win rate, really great guy too, which is awesome. So what I wanted to do today is I recorded a really interesting league earlier today, and I wanted to do kind of a voiceover commentary with Mike and I discussing lines that I took and figuring out whether I could have played better in spots. If I made some really sweet plays, we can just pat me on the back for that, all that sort of thing. And so I figured this was prepping for Eternal Weekend. It's about 6 weeks out. I figured that this could be a really interesting thing for us to do. So before we jump into the games, I figure that we could go over the deck, at least how I have it configured. And then we can kind of discuss where you might differ on that sort of thing. So obviously the main things are there's like between 18 and 19 lands. Some people play a third wasteland. Some people play two. I'm playing two just to fit everything else that you're about to see. You've got your ponders and brainstorms. You've got your entombs and reanimates. These are kind of the given slots, right? And then most lists have at least one animate dead. I'm playing two. Lists have between 3 and 4 dazes. Where are you on days right now?
I have three as well.
Okay, three as well. You're on one or two animate deads.
Just one animate dead.
Okay, yeah. So that's just a slight preference of I like to have the extra reanimation effect because I like to just be hunting for it a little less. But obviously doing this makes me a little bit softer to, games where graveyard hate is all over the place. I'm playing one removal spell main, so I made it a banger, Bitter Triumph. Are you playing?
It's a really good one. I'm playing those on the board, but that card is insanely good. No, just the two borrowers main for me.
Okay, cool. Yeah. The other two removal is basically Chalice removal most of the time, but Brazen Borrower is really good because you can, bounce a main deck Nihil Spellbomb or whatever is giving you problems. So they're in the main as well. I'm playing two main deck pieces of Graveyard Hate. I'm playing one Nihil Spellbomb and one Cling to Dust. Nihil Spellbomb being a little bit better as actual Graveyard Hate because you can kind of set it and forget it, get it into play, and then obviously you can cantrip later. Cling to Dust, you have to leave the mana open for when you need it, but it does also have cantrip mode a lot more easily where you can just exile anything to draw a card. You can escape it later on, which can, grow your Murktide or just give you card advantage. And it also has the secret healing salve mode. Something I've noticed in a lot of games as they drag on is my life total will get a little bit low, a little bit too low to, reanimate one of these guys. And so the Cling to Dust gaining 3 life can actually, bring you from 7 life up to 10. And then all of a sudden you can reanimate one of these. So I like having the split.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of really cool choices here. And that's actually something that I've been talking with some other people about as well is the core of the deck's pretty stable, which means that I think you have to do a very good job of isolating what you want the, let's call them flex slots in the deck to be, right? Like I would call the two pieces of Graveyard Hate you're playing, the second Animate Dead, the Bitter Triumph. Those 4 slots are pretty flexible. I'm currently on 2 Bowmaster in those slots, and then I'm trying to think. I think I have a third Murktide right now, and a 19th land. Yeah. And so basically I think that those 4 slots are very flexible, but understanding what you want them to do is extremely important if you're trying to maximize your effectiveness with this deck, because the deck's inherently powerful. And one of the things playing combo decks for as long as I've been playing combo decks is when you have a really good core, sometimes you get lazy on the extra slots or you don't pay enough attention to the value of the extra slots, and they cost you games that you didn't even realize you lost in deck building because you just have a not a great list for a current situation. So I think that I don't know if you want to go down some of the choices, but I personally, a couple of the things I think are really interesting to talk about, like the graveyard hate. I was playing Two Cling to Dust for a while, and what I found was they didn't meaningfully cause me to win a consistent amount more games in, let's say, the mirror match, which is one of the main reasons you would want them because you expect a lot of blue black reanimator. Um, and it felt like in order to try and progress the games, you were either trying to race to combo faster or you were trying to get them dead, flip a Tameo, put a Murktide, like do something to put pressure. And then at some point in the game, you just got oops reanimated on, or you oops reanimated your opponent on like turn 3 or turn 4. And depending on the way that the thought seas kind of go back and forth and the counter spells go back and forth, it just felt like it didn't reliably, I wouldn't say solve, but I guess give me wins that I feel like I wouldn't have had without it. So I've been playing quite a bit with zero graveyard hate main, and I still feel very confident in winning the mirror match. But a lot of that revolves around the strategy game 2 and 3 and saying I'm going to lose some game 1s, and I'm just prepared to lose a decent chunk, 50-50 or whatever. I'm willing to say, hey, I'm fine losing half of my game 1s to just getting kind of beat because I don't have extra graveyard hate in the main. And I think that that's kind of the biggest piece that I'm not playing that a lot of people are playing.
That makes sense. And that lets you fit those Bowmasters too, right? And if you'll notice, I have 0 Bowmasters in the 75, which makes things a little bit awkward when my opponent's playing a ton of Bowmasters, because my only real way to get a Bowmaster is to kill one of yours and reanimate it. And so, like you said, it's full of trade-offs, right? And I see the reason to not play Cling to Dust. Right now I'm trying it. I'm trying the split here. I've liked it just off of, like, honestly, the other day I ran into Burn, and having Healing Salve was really
sick
good.
There, yeah.
So
I agree. I would say the flexibility more than anything was super impressive to me. Like, I liked the flexibility of the card. I think Bowmaster, one of the things that, to your point, you said it with the Healing Salve, Bowmaster just blocking and trading off with some stuff in games where you get interacted with a little bit, because I think as this deck's become more popular, you get interacted with more than you would have before. And so it's not that you can't reanimate, but it's that you do have to pay attention to your life total. And so cards like Bowmaster protecting your life total a little bit are really nice as well. But yeah.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Now, the last, I guess, flex slot thing I did is I cut one of the thought seizes for a force negation. And I did that for 2 reasons. One is I think that this deck on the play between Thoughtseize and Daze has so much disruptive potential that I wanted to kind of hedge a little bit for the games that I'm losing the die roll, especially with Chalice decks between Eldrazi and Red Stompy kind of on the uptick. And so I went up to essentially 5 forces, which just increases my likelihood about another 10% from roughly 40% to roughly 50% to have a force in any given 7. And then also with Atraxa, one of the things I'm looking for most with an Atraxa hit is to find a force of will. And so having the 5th force just increases that density a little bit. And then
I'm playing the 4th. I'm playing that fawn as well in mine. I think it must be instead of one of the removal spell or the animate dead, because I still have 4 thought seasons, but I have the fawn in the main. Mystic Forge is another really important nod of why you would play that card. Mystic Forge often presents a turn 1 threat, turn 2 kind of at the latest, and so not having a fawn's kind of what bridges you to be able to entomb reanimate on them, and not having that a lot of the times like a 1 ring can keep up with an Atraxa or an Arcana Cruelty, so you kind of have to have a force of will in that matchup, for example.
Yep, that makes sense. And that's why I've got the 2nd force negation out in the sideboard and 2 consigned memories to counter those things as well. I'm not playing any null rods, and the reason why is because the slot just basically got eaten up by these guys and 2 engineered explosives. I like the null rod. It was like my 16th card, but I just couldn't justify. I guess it would probably be over the 3rd Baragoi or something, but these counter the.
I'm not playing a null rod either.
Yeah.
I'm not really big on null rod. Also, the problem I find with null rod is you're playing it on turn 2, right? You don't cheat it out ahead of time like a Stompy deck.
Yeah.
And if you want a wasteland or daze, like a Grim Monolith or something like that, a lot of the times it's not even reliable to do it that fast. And also, you're trying to kind of combo. You're trying to maybe Brazen Bar or a Ley Line. Like, there's a lot of things that compete for your mana in those matchups. Brainstorm plus Tameo, etc. That it's just awkward to put it into play. And the one thing that you're really scared of in that matchup is Urza's Saga.
Yep.
I think that we have enough thought seizes and forces to cover a lot of the what they're doing and consign to memories post board. Urza Saga is a problem, and No Rod doesn't really solve your Urza Saga problem. Is
Exactly.
another reason.
And once you have Nord in play, your engineered explosives don't clear Urza Saga anymore because they can't activate.
Exactly.
So, yep. And then bouncing over to the removal, I've got 4 pieces of sideboard removal. It's 3 Fatal Push and a Shieldred's Edict. These most efficient one and more flexible can clear Planeswalkers. So slightly different than Bitter Triumph. This could honestly be another Bitter Triumph, but I like Shieldred's Edict a little bit more against Nadu. Just because if you play it right, you can clear a Nadu without triggering it.
Oh,
So,
nice. Yeah, that makes.
But they're very close, these two. This could very easily be
Yeah.
a Bitter Triumph in like a day's time. With the Stompy decks on the uptick, I'm up to 3 Barrogoyfs. Also, this is great against the Blue-Red Delver decks. And then as far as Graveyard Hate goes, the Dothy Voidwalkers are obviously like slower, but lights out against Oops once they land. Fair Macabre is a faster, slightly weaker one to supplement the Cling, Spellbomb. And one thing I really like about this whole thing is that between 2 Voidwalkers, a Macabre, a Cling, and a Spellbomb, 5 pieces in the 75, they all interact in different ways, which makes it hard to play around them at all times.
Yeah, I'm on 3 Barrogoyf as well. I think that Barrogoyfs interact really well. It again, that's the difference with not having Bowmasters in the third Murktide. Mine, on average, are going to be a little bit better with a couple of extra creatures, but I think that the the argument of Dothy, I think that the thing about Dothy is obviously it's better against Oops, but with Thoughtseize, Force of Wills, and any graveyard hate, I think that like you're relatively favored in that matchup anyway. So originally I had the same thought of like, hey, these cards are really good, but then I realized I'm winning the matchup without that much. Because you just didn't need it. You also have a really fast combo in Entomb Reanimate, and a lot of the times they don't have ways to interact with your combo. So it's like they're thought seizing you, and there's like times they have to take Entomb instead of a Force of Will, and they know they're gonna have to draw and dig because they're gonna lose if they take the Force and then let you Entomb Reanimate or something like that. So to me, I am on 3 fairies, and I think fairy is just by far the best piece of graveyard hate, and the main reason is because in the mirror you're trying to do things like tap out for Barrogoyf, you're trying to do things like Tameo plus flip it, thought seize, you're spending your mana very often, and so having mana up or tapping for a spell bomb instead of a thought seize on turn 1, you're just running into like a lot of choices that can backfire depending on what your opponent's hand looks like. If you cast a Nihil Spellbomb into your opponent's Tameo, you're going to feel really silly. And you're not necessarily going to feel silly because you did something wrong, but it sucks. Whereas, like, Fairy's a relatively stable card that can sit in your hand. You can brainstorm it later, and your opponents have to commit. Most of the time, they have to commit things before they know you have it because thought seizes get really, really taxed in the blue black mirrors. But I agree, if you're looking for other graveyard decks, Fairy's definitely not the best, but in the mirror, it's certainly very good.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Really, really good insights. Shall we jump into the
Yeah,
voiceover league with the 75?
let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, so we're here for round 1, and I'm looking at a 7 on the draw with 2 Dazes, 2 Ponders, and a Traxa. Obviously, with the Reanimate, I love the line of, going to clean up, discarding a Traxa, and then just turn 2 Reanimating. This one was, I tanked on it for a while. I believe I ended up keeping. What would you have done?
Yeah, I think I'm keeping this with the double ponder, double days in your basics. You have a lot of flexibility in how you play this hand. And really, that's all you're looking for in the deck is you're going to open some broken hands, but any hand that's not broken, you just want some flexibility.
Yeah.
It looks like we're about to get maybe killed here, though. So
Yeah, I got nervous. I was like, oh no, I should have gone for a force. Oh, but then Thoughtseize, and I get really, really worried. But
Maybe just a Dothy follow up or something.
yeah, it's a little less scary than that, which is
Oh,
nice. But
okay.
yeah, I was like already like, well, at least I got games 2 and 3. But yeah, or
Yeah.
just like
I'm,
honestly, I was most worried about them taking my Atrax and reanimating it. That's what I thought was going to happen.
oh, got it. Yeah, that definitely could have
But
happened. Instead, your opponent's playing Dark Confidant.
Dark Confidant is okay. I wish I had Orcish Bowmaster for that. Drawing the Thoughtseize was really nice. Now I'm debating basic Swamp Thoughtseize or having like Underground Sea Thoughtseize while being able to hold up days, and what's the likelihood I get Wastelanded here. And so I
Yeah,
decided to go for the Underground Sea. Wait, and I'm
I would
pondering?
Underground Sea Ponder here. If you
Okay, yeah.
find Reanimate, it's just such high upside.
Well, I did. Oh, and that's right. That becomes my plan. So I'm gonna Thoughtseize my own Atraxa and reanimate it.
Exactly.
Yep, just like that. And my opponent flips a Fatal Push, which is not relevant.
Yeah, Wasteland's like kind of annoying, but really it's just a time walk, honestly. So it's not as bad as it
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be.
That's true, because you can Thoughtseize and reanimate off of that. Dothy Voidwalker, I have to, unfortunately, daze, which is
Yeah,
also a time walk. But, we do what we can.
I think. Yeah, I think this is the point to where if your opponent randomly has reanimates in your deck, they're gonna get you, but they probably don't because they didn't thought seize it. But
Yeah.
I think you just have to thought seize yourself here, right? So
So I ended up pondering and just trying to do that all in one turn cycle. But I
interest.
like that makes sense as far as a better play is that would play around things more because also it plays around a future Dothy Voidwalker and what have you.
Dothy Wasteland, yeah, and not have to time walk yourself again.
Yep,
Um,
that would have been the better play. So, yep, good catch there. And
yeah, I mean,
obviously,
I think it's really funny because this is something that I'm learning a lot about now. We're time walked again because of it.
yep,
I'm learning a lot about the little nuances of how when you play this deck, and if they had a land, you were in a lot of trouble there.
yeah,
Um, but a lot of the nuances are you're going to win a lot of games where your hands are pretty powerful, so it's recognizing where there were opportunities that you still won a game for can be kind of challenging, and sometimes they do have that land and then you have that daze in your hand, or that you have that daze that doesn't counter Dothy there, you lose this game and you're like, dang, that was really unfortunate. I thought I was in a good position, but we had an opportunity there. So
right. And that's awesome. That's like one of the reasons why I really wanted to review this with you is even when you do well, it's still good to find these opportunities, like you said, because yeah, learning from mistakes in games you win is really hard because you gloss over them or you don't even realize they were mistakes.
exactly. That's one of the things I liked about playing Doomsday so much is you could go back and build and be like, what would I have lost to here again if you just want to kind of understand it. And this deck is that's why VOD, like reviewing your VODs, is so cool because you can catch a lot of this stuff and just realize you could play a little tighter.
Yep. So Dark Confidant's coming in. It's dealt me 9 damage so far. Or it's dealt me 7. Thoughtseize has dealt me 2. But fortunately for me, I've got
You get
2 reanimates for
double
this.
reanimates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're like slightly annoyed if they have a removal spell in response to this attraction trigger, like because our
Yeah.
life's pretty low, but it's like probably mostly fine.
But, they have a removal spell and then we go to 2, right? Because we go
Yeah.
from 4 to 2.
It's interesting if hmm, I wonder if you Archon there. Probably not. Protection is probably fine, but yeah, yeah, you're definitely not dead, but
It was worth considering.
yeah, just because it takes the threat off the table too
Yep.
was the only reason I was thinking.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yep, they had the removal spell. And I try to reload. I see all 4 brainstorms, a daze, and 2 forces.
Holy cow,
What a terrible attraction.
mess. Yeah,
I'm taking a brainstorm, taking, I guess, the Thoughtseize begrudgingly, and an Underground Sea.
yeah,
Not super stoked about that. And I can't Thoughtseize here because I go to 2 if I do, and then die.
what
So
are
I'm
we
just going to
brainstorming
brainstorm.
for here?
Yep. there we go. So
What are we main phase brainstorming for? Aren't we
play
dead to a
around, but
bowmaster anyway?
we would go to 1 for a bowmaster because they
Yeah,
would.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That makes sense. Okay.
But yes, if we were dead anyway, there'd be no reason to main phase it.
Yeah, being at 1 makes sense. That's cool. That's heads up. I think I would have just held the brainstorm, but that makes sense. There's the
There's the
bowmaster.
bowmaster.
It's perfect.
Yes, just like we drew it up. Now, unfortunately, going to 1 means that the Force of Will is not live.
Yeah. But having another removal spell for oh.
Yeah. Now that's looking bad for us.
Yep.
So at this point, I'm like, do I even bother animate deading and make them spellbomb? Nope, I just pack it in.
Probably not.
So yeah, I did end up actually losing that game, and I had an opportunity to win it by a whole turn cycle sooner if I had just Thoughtseize myself on that turn that you were suggesting.
Yeah, it's a interesting dynamic. But that being said, they have spellbombs main too, right? So maybe they had one they could have prioritized it. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, but I think you were correct about the play.
Got it.
It was just
What
yes.
do you think about sideboarding?
So I'm bringing in removal. I'm bringing in doofuses. I'm not super high on Baragoyf because they have Fatal Push, but at the end of the day, they have a ton of main deck graveyard hate, so I need things to action. I don't really want the Wastelands against just basic Swamp deck. The forces, I figure that we're just kind of ripping each other apart, and so I'm not crazy high on them. On the play, I figure I'm going to lean more on Daze, and then on the draw, probably bring in more forces.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. That's definitely reasonable.
I'm debating Cling to Dust just as like another little hedge against like Nether Goyfs and whatnot.
Yeah,
EE
EE is
also does
pretty
that.
interesting for
Yeah.
spellbomb too.
Also, they're full of 2-drops. Like their deck is just like
Yep.
Bowmasters and Dothies and yeah, EE for spell bombs. I figure that it's safer to draw the EE than try to hold up force forever for it. So I'm
Yeah,
going.
I like this. I actually am curious. Tameo, I'm curious how good Tameo is in a Bowmaster, like creature pressure style deck. That's also an interesting consideration. And the only reason I say that is I know that against like the blue black tempo decks when they were more popular, sometimes people would board out Tameos because you're just like the worst Bowmaster deck since you don't play any Bowmasters.
Yeah.
Your Tameos are going to be very behind against Bowmasters a large percentage of the time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So I did keep the Tamios. I didn't really consider counting them, but I have, of course, the quick consideration of just going to uh, pass, but on the play, it seemed like too much sacrifice. I like having the basic swamp here. And then I
Yeah,
figured
this
that,
is a pretty good ponder.
yeah, I can draw the Entomb next turn. I can have,
We're,
I can brainstorm Entomb.
yeah, worth noting if this was a bitter triumph, you could discard the Atraxa to it too.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even clock that. But yeah, that's a good reason to play a second Bitter Triumph over the Edict.
Just the difference, yes.
Let's
I think
find out
that's
if Edict gets better at any point in this league. Like if there's any points right now, +1 triumph. Okay, so Daze was good there at clearing the Nihil Spellbomb. You get a good look at my Entomb. Then we draw.
this is a little awkward now because we daze, so we can't upkeep Entomb, but we can still put it second. Are we just going for Archon? Is that your thought
Yeah,
here?
my thoughts just go for Archon.
Okay.
Making up for game 1. Also, when my hand is kind of full, I like, there's a lot to be said for Archon's just kind of consistent card generation.
Yeah, it's funny. I think the thing that I use is, do I have a force of will? If I already have like a counter spell to back up the Archon, I'm a lot more likely to go get Archon because it's a faster clock and I already have, like you said, a lot of the times off a track. So you're looking for a force of will. So
Yep.
like if you already have the force of will, that changes it a little bit for me.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Obviously my forces are in the sideboard right now, so
Oh, all
not,
four of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so not too much to be gained there. And I'm just brainstorming around Bowmaster right now.
Perfect. I think
Um,
the Fatal Push is probably the most important card to hide for some random thing.
yeah, I think I hid the Murktide just because my graveyard's full of instants, and I figured that push comes to shove, just
Makes sense.
an 8/8.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I have
Okay.
two, I guess I have 3 removal spells if you count EE.
Yeah. I think the Edict's flexible enough on an empty board plus an Archon that it's like totally reasonable.
Yeah. So they now show me red for Molten Collapse.
Okay.
A little bit
Yeah, I've
sad.
seen this list pop up a little bit. The just kind of aggressive Nethergoyf aggro deck
Yeah.
with Pyroblast and collapses, but no blue. What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking about whether or not I want to brainstorm and try to hit a reanimate, or if I just want to slam a Murktide down my opponent's throat.
Yeah, I think I like the Murktide play.
I do too. Because I figure that this one's just the guaranteed success. And if I brainstormed and like missed, and my opponent presents a threat, suddenly I'm behind on the turn cycle. On
Yeah, the
like
only
the
thing worth noting is with a brainstorm in your hand and 4 cameos in your deck, it is sometimes worth considering leaving like a part A or part B, like a reanimate in your graveyard because you can pick it up with Tameo.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Brainstorm. So I'm probably going to
There's a
get Bowmaster
Bowmaster.
here. That fetch means. But fortunately for me, I have a Fatal Push.
Nice.
So I can get rid of that. Then hopefully find a reanimate. No reanimate, just found 2 entombs instead.
Double Entomb. At least we can shuffle those away.
Yep, and I do. Get out of here. Or Triumph. So
Yeah.
now I've got both options. Triumph and
You
Edict.
got both of them. Let's see which one works better.
Uh-oh. Well, too little too late on that Leyland Void.
Little late.
But good to know
Well, they're
about.
gonna get your underground sea, right? Your underground
Yeah,
sea is in the exile zone.
in the void. Yeah, but now at least I can fresh brainstorm. And I got a fetch land for it.
Absolutely.
Oh, and there we
There you
go.
go. You got it all. We got it all.
We got it all. And they're out of cards.
Yeah.
I'm going to fetch first.
I think it's like
Because,
thinking about what you possibly lose to here, but it's not
yeah,
much. So,
yep. Especially at 5 life
yeah,
with 4
we
removal
got all
spells in my hand.
the.
Because they only draw 1 card
What
at
do
a
they
time.
say? An embarrassment of riches.
Exactly. And my opponent smartly does not crack this bauble right now, because if they cracked it, they would just have to
Don't
discard the
lose the
card.
card.
Yep.
Yep.
But I get to hit them down to 2 life. And I think I just brainstorm here because why not?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting thing here. It's not like super interesting, but this is definitely a thing that some people do. Some people sit on the brainstorm because they're like, I'm already in check. And I think that it's important to understand the matchup that you're playing. The blue red cutter deck's a good example. I feel like sometimes if you sit on brainstorm with like lethal in play against the blue red cutter deck, they're able to come back from it if they draw Unholy Heat, Cutter into Unholy Heat, or something like that, and you're sitting
Yep.
on a brainstorm. So I do think that that's like an important nuance of playing this deck is understanding when, even when you're ahead, you should still be casting your spells and applying pressure because at the end of the day, normally being ahead means your big monsters in play. And once your big monsters in play, you have to do something else.
Yep. And they did find the perfect sequence of 2 cards there. They found removal and threat.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, had we brainstormed into another threat, then we would be in a position to where we would be winning the game and not leaving it open to more insane top decks, which probably don't exist from this spot. But regardless, you're just not giving them the window.
Exactly. So one thing I'm pointing out right now is even though I could technically petty theft plus cast borrower, that would trigger revolt for fatal push.
Oh,
And
nice. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to fatal push, but my plan is to basically just end step borrower. And since they now have only one mana open, this is
You
weaker
don't
to
want to turn it on.
weaker to pyroblast, but obviously they can pyroblast the petty theft too. So they can't fatal push a borrower if I don't petty theft, and I get the game.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's another one. You said the not turning on revolt. It's also similar to if you're gonna fetch on your own turn but not do anything else. Fetching on your opponent's upkeep when you have a fatal push in hand, just in case they play a 3-drop or something that you can fatal push, is just a sloppy play that some people don't make.
Yep, and then the same token of that is also sometimes in your own upkeep if you need to draw a fatal push to and you don't have any other way of turning on revolt, like kill your opponent's 3-drop, like you're facing down a Baraglyph or whatever, then you can just blind fetch in your own upkeep to hope to rip the fatal push.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes that's even better than surveilling because surveilling doesn't give you the revolt, right? So
Exactly. I mean, if you have mana to spare, you can fetch
even
surveil.
do that in your upkeep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So I went to 2 forces 1 days. Just my opponent is playing really tap out heavy as far as playstyle
Yeah.
goes. And so even though the matchup isn't favoring any days, I figured that having a days was nice. This is a great one because I have 2 combos in it. I've got Entomb Reanimate and I have Tameo Brainstorm.
Yeah, and you have the EE for the spell bomb or the needle.
Right. So yeah, all in all, this is a very nice looking hand. And I now get to figure out what my opponent cares more about.
Exactly.
Like what
I
they
think it's
take.
probably just the Tameo.
Yeah. So I figure if they take Entomb, it means that they have no graveyard answers. If they take Tameo, it means they do. And they're thankful for it and take Entomb. And obviously
Got
the
it.
fact, like as you said before, Tameo can essentially rebuy Entomb in a couple turns,
Yeah.
which
It,
is one of the
it
reasons
tells
it's
you
so
they
good.
may have an answer to Tameo in their hand, but they don't obviously to Entomb.
Right. And then even if they do, their deck is so 2-drop focused that making them spend their turn 2 to answer Tameo is fine.
It's kind of funny when you look at fire design and you're like, your opponent just played a two mana Dark Confidant and you have a 1 mana Planeswalker.
Yeah. Welcome to fire. Oh wow.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is good. Now I am weighing the likelihood of just playing a Tameo blocker here. I decided I didn't really want to.
Do you think your opponent could be playing Blood Moon?
I didn't even consider it, but
I
yeah,
don't know if they are, but it does seem like a card they could play.
that would be crazy. Oh my god, getting. I mean, that would be like one of those things. Like your friend just comes up to you, like, "I just got Blood Moon by the mono black deck."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Tameo is unfortunately taking 1 point of damage because I did not play the second creature side Tameo as a blocker.
Yeah, the
But
first point's like technically free, right? Because it doesn't need it to ult, but
yeah, I just figured that having the options and having the surveil here is worth a lot to me.
absolutely.
Baraglyph, I do not care about. So now, actually, my
Yeah.
plan is just to sacrifice Tameo and Tomb Reanimate. See if I
Yep.
can't find a Force or a Daze to help protect. Oh.
Oh, we don't even need the Entomb. Pick up the brainstorm, Max. We don't even
No.
need it.
Wow. I could have pondered first here.
Yeah, or
Just,
you could have picked up the brainstorm, either one. But
yeah.
yeah, I think Ponder's probably the best.
Well, I just
And Tomb
found,
Reanimate, just do it again.
yeah, an abundance of riches. Yeah, so reanimate. I think I'm gonna grab Force of Will and potentially just use Tamio to rebuy Entomb, or I can just grab Entomb here.
I
Yeah,
like that better though. I like holding Force and using Tamio to be rebuy into him.
yeah. I think I made the wrong play here. This is kind of one of the things with like. Also, I don't know if this happens. It's probably a common occurrence, but when you're so far ahead in these reanimator games, I feel like I get like a little complacent. I play a lot looser than I should.
100%. But and that's I think that that's the example that I would bring is the blue red cutter deck is the one that I found that punishes me the most for playing sloppy ahead.
Yep.
Um, and so that's something that I'm trying to work on is I think most matchups when you get this far ahead it doesn't really matter, but I think that like there's some spots where it ends up coming back to bite you. Like even a double removal spell kills you or almost kills you from this point.
Yeah,
Um
that's
like
crazy.
a land double removal spell almost kills you because we didn't pick up the force of will.
Right.
So um, obviously, it's still unlikely to happen, but it's like actually like Pyroblast plus Edict or something, and then Spellbomb would be like a pretty rough situation for you here.
Yep. And yeah,
We have
there's
a
kind of an unforced error. This Tamio is not really necessary at this point.
exactly. I think that's the other thing is like trading off resources aggressively when you know the game's ending in a turn or whatever. It's not you don't have to get max value out of them. You just have to get like the short term max value out of them.
Right. You just have to set up not the not lose wall.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which, yeah, having a force in hand would have been a bit better. Right now, I'm talking about how if Baraglyph, can go face, I'll trade with the Traxa because going to 14 sounds pretty nice, and I don't want to randomly like lose to Bolt. Speaking of that,
Absolutely.
not lose wall. Like, there's no,
Yeah.
no, there's almost zero chance that their deck is playing Lightning Bolt in it, but I'd much rather be at 14 with an Archon,
Yeah. Absolutely.
especially because from here, since I kept the Tamio, I can always just -3 rebuy reanimate and
Yeah, like
Traxa
but
again.
even so, I think for example, this is a very interesting spot even if they just have a pyroblast for your Atraxa. Like literally a pyroblast puts you in a really interesting choice.
Yeah. So yeah, that having that force would be
Oh,
really helpful.
I would just let that hit, right? Cuz it's going to
Yeah,
Tamio.
if it's going to Tamio, I'm letting it go. It's going face and blocking.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, it's going face.
Yep. The opponent was trying to decide where to put it. So we're blocking, we're going to 14. Snap block. Yeah, feel a lot better about this board state.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because Tamio can get reanimate, we can go again. They play any singular threat. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore because they got rid of both of my threats.
Yeah.
But now with a single card in hand and this
As long as it's
Baraglyph in
not you
play.
can even daze a spell bomb, but yeah, you have reanimate plus Murktide here.
Yeah. So I think I think I'm gonna get Archon from this spot. Ooh, I drew the force.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I just get Archon.
Yeah.
You can even go like Archon Murktide Spellbomb to
Yeah.
like turn those glyphs off or whatever.
Yeah. Spellbomb being randomly good against Netherglyph is pretty funny. Like as far as like I think Netherglyph is pretty poorly positioned right now. Like the blue black tempo deck I think is fine, but I don't like Netherglyph.
Yeah, I think Netherglyphs, depending on how you look at it, sometimes a necessary evil, but I think it's only because it's like decent pressure against some of the combo decks that I think are not showing up as much, like Show and Tell.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Looks like we're on the same page. I think you
And
should play Murktide here
I think I
because
should
there's
play
only one
Murktide
draw
too.
step. Yeah.
I don't.
But I mean, you have Force Will, so I think there's zero things that can go wrong. But
But even still, like playing Murktide is the way to go.
yeah,
That way I don't have to force a Shoulder's Edict or whatever.
exactly.
Let's see. Okay.
The old information thought sees
In game 3.
in game 3. How dead was I, Max? That's the question.
Extreme. Still had all these.
Very
I had a
dead.
Murktide I should have played, and I didn't play it. I tried to.
Yeah, you didn't
I,
have to reveal hand.
yeah. So
Oh, this
now
land.
match 2. Yeah, we're against Ali on lands.
This hand seems a little sus.
Although Cabal Therapy. So I kept it because of Spellbomb and reading Ali's name and being like, oh, he's on lands.
Okay, fair.
Also having Brazen Borrower as an out to Merit
Yeah,
Lich.
yeah.
This is a very meta keep. It was not a good keep in general. But then getting Cabal Therapied really threw me. I'm like, is he not on lands?
No, I think he's playing some Cabal therapies in his lands deck right now.
Yeah, and drawing the Force Negation is a great one.
Oh, perfect for Loam. Yeah.
So I'm fetching a non-basic here, because I have the Fawn for Loam. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
regretting it slightly now. This Malevolent Rumble I should have forced, but I just brain farted on not having a window of priority between this Scion hitting play and the Cabal Therapy flashback.
Oh, got it. Because you know
Basically,
about the Force, yeah.
yeah,
Or
so
because they know about the Dull Force.
yeah, so he got a free Wasteland here
Got it, yeah.
because he drew it off of the Rumble. And now I'm kind of regretting all my decisions because it means he has double Wasteland.
And now you're like, I'm on one land again. But
Yep.
I think you're still in a fine spot, but
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still pretty far from comboing, and he's Ali, so
that's true. That's true. That's true.
yeah, he's
Having the Fawn does help a little bit with like being okay cycling the spell bomb.
yeah. Drawing the days is really nice because it means I don't have to lose my borrower to
Yeah, I think I
Fawn
would
something.
surveil here and then cycle spell bomb.
Yeah, I'm definitely considering it. Yep. Okay, and found reanimate. I think I keep it just as one part of the combo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now I get double wasted. Very sad. I will flip the spell bomb.
We are an entomb from greatness.
Entomb in 2 turns.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the matchups where you end up getting Archon a lot too.
Yeah,
Because they play Caracas and stuff.
I play
And
Caracas.
Maze of Ith, etc. etc. Ooh,
Oh,
that's a rough one to have to
yeah,
fawn here. What are you
can't
pitching? You pitching Days?
days. Or maybe borrower, just because they're light on lands, and days is going to become relevant later. Like he's nowhere close to a Merit Lich.
Yeah, I agree. I like pitching Bar.
Okay, so now I find essentially up to 2 basics, but I'm probably going to want to Travail, and so I play the Strand.
Yeah, I think that's a little fetch choices and stuff is something that some people don't look at too. Obviously, your Polluted Delta can get Island or Swamp, so if there's a chance that you're gonna want to surveil here, then you should not play the Polluted Delta because it
Yep,
doesn't give you access to both.
exactly. So I'm going to Surveil here.
Do you have? Oh yeah, you have two. Okay, that's a good draw.
Yeah, play 2 Surveils. Don't leave home without him. So this Lava Spur
I
Boots
agree.
is interesting because it means that I can face down a hasty Merit Lich at any point.
Yeah, yeah. Hasty Merit Liege is one of the ways that you oops I die out of nowhere in this matchup.
Yep. And Maze of Ith is pretty funny against Tamio. Well, I'm a brainstorm away from greatness.
Yeah, or even just the Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
This is like one of the weird spots where sometimes you just want to draw here.
Yep,
Because you could hit a land and stuff like that against
exactly.
Thoughtseizes. Sometimes you shouldn't, but there's
On
the
the
Thoughtseize
Thoughtseize.
and
Yep, exactly.
Crop
So
Rot.
this scares me.
Yeah, this makes it feel like I think so. The Daze is free here, um,
Yeah,
but I don't think they're gonna want to. Yeah, I don't think they're threatening the combo now. They're threatening it next turn.
yeah, because this is my end step. I think he's threatening out on his main phase.
Yeah, but he would have to have a Mox Diamond plus a Yavimaya, I think, to put haste on it.
I think so. Crop Rot into like, or if he has depths or Yavimaya from hand, then this kills me.
Yeah, Yav here does
Yeah,
kill you.
Yav or depths from hand kills me. Like he plays the missing
Yeah.
piece. So I think I'm gonna daze this just to
I think
not
you should daze
lose.
it. It's basically
Yeah,
free. Yeah.
right. Just
You
to
also
not
it
lose.
doesn't matter because yeah, it doesn't matter because you're not guaranteed to have a land drop on top anyway.
Yep.
And they pay for it. They get Yav and then they make a 2020, which is fine, but
Right.
that's not killing you.
Right. It's a 2020, not a 2020 haste.
Exactly. And your life linker is pretty decent blocking.
Yeah,
Here's the
exactly.
that was a heads up. That was a good heads up days, and I think that's like an example of something a lot of people. I minimized it. That was a very good days that I think a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, that daze was like, what could happen here? And oh my god.
The Archon is actually insane.
Yes.
What's better than an Atraxa, an Archon that
Nice
sacks your
proactive
melee?
manage. Oh my god.
Uh, I bet they feel bad, but in reality, I think they weren't beating an Atraxa also.
Yeah.
But this
Entomb
was their
also
first
gets
one.
there for what it's worth. But
Yeah,
drawing the Archon is just so good.
it's pretty funny. Yeah, I love it.
Oh my god. Yeah, so let's see. Fawn comes in. Bitter Triumph is a targeted
Copies are
removal
pretty
spell.
good.
Um, Clean up construct tokens and spell bombs. I really like Consign in the matchup because it answers stuff like Bajuka Bog and
Yep,
Endurance. It doesn't answer Macabre, but it does do some good work.
absolutely.
Now,
Totally
Thought
agree.
Seizes to me are kind of iffy. Like they're good against Macabre specifically, but
Yeah, there's so many macabres and lands lately that I'm leaving thought seizes in. I'm cutting dazes for sure, but I'm leaving some thought seizes in just because macabre is a problem.
yeah, I could see that. What would you cut
I
instead?
think well, I'm leaving all the Tamios in because Tamio is a very good win condition against lands. Like ulting a Tamio is like how I win half my games. I
Yep.
would probably cut I cut Murktides. I cut the other creatures in the matchup, like the creatures that are gonna lose to Mazavith. I keep Entombs, Tamio. I basically am Turbo Reanimator and Turbo Flip Tamio, and then whatever the best interaction is.
That makes a lot of sense to me. So I think with this draw, I think I go basic island. I'm gonna try to set
Interesting.
up something stable here. Now, I do
There's
have
but
brainstorm and surveil, but I don't think I need that given the fact that I already have the entomb. So my plan now is basically entomb, reanimate, and consign the triggered ability that stops me. Hoping it's a triggered
yeah.
ability and not a fairy macabre.
Yeah, if you fetched Underground Sea here for what it's worth, you could just surveil the Archon and reanimate it.
Yep. Although no, I think I had to shuffle that. I don't think I have the Archon anymore. No, it was a
Oh, you
puppet.
didn't have the reanimate. Got
Yeah, yeah.
it.
So having Force of
Interesting.
Will is nice, I believe. So I kind of like
Yeah.
all these cards.
Yeah, I think like you're looking kind of like you might want to Tamio a little bit here too, depending on what they end up
Yeah, so
doing.
I think I'm basically gonna keep all three and then surveil to the top.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Like normally this is an opportunity to bin the worst card of the ponder, but I think
But
in
all
this
of them are
case,
good, yeah.
yeah, the ponder was just it was a keepy ponder.
Yeah, since you need double black anyway, like next turn going in going Tamio Brainstorm is like pretty sick. Now you can't do that, but it's
Yeah.
the
If I
bar
was
over
at
here is gonna be
if I was
pretty
at
good.
20, I could do it. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So now do you just play Tamio and plan to block Brainstorm?
I'm considering it.
You should have tapped your Underground Sea because they can Wasteland you.
Yeah.
So they can make a 2020, then they can Wasteland you, and then pre-combat, you can no longer Brainstorm.
But I think I actually had a different plan here. I think my plan is not to block Brainstorm, but to block an Entomb.
Interesting. Okay.
And then use. But no, I have a. That was a mistake because I have Brazen Borrower on top of the deck.
That was my thought is you have Brazen Borrower on top,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I
I
think
think
I
it's
just.
fine here because you have Forcible. I think it's fine, but you're getting absolutely crushed by a Fairy Macabre.
I think I missed that line. I think that was just a punt. And now I realize I have Borrower on top.
Yeah, this is fine if they don't have Fairy, right? Because you can just Archon them here.
Yeah, but then now I'm realizing, oh, they probably have Fairy because they just played out the bog.
Yeah, got it.
And I'm feeling really stupid about my plan here. Dead Tambia for no reason. But yeah, what you gonna do?
Yeah, the
Either way,
Wastelands for mana sources here are pretty good.
pretty nice. Yeah, happy about that. At least now I can either consign a Sajiri step. Now I can upkeep Entomb to not draw the EE if I want.
I think you have to just draw the E to your point because if they have a Sajiri step, you can consign plus Brazen Bar.
Yeah, but I can
Whereas
force the
now you're
step. I can
dead
force
to
the crop rot.
yeah, because it's a crop rot. Yeah, if you use it right now instead of, I guess you could do it in response to
Yeah,
playing it anyway. Yeah,
yeah,
so you
yeah,
never won't have priority. You're fine.
yeah. That's what I was weighing. But I
That
mean,
makes sense.
I should have a flip Tambio in play right now. If I had, you know, not just thrown her away on that turn. So he did have the crop rot.
For
I
the
think I'm
step.
gonna
Yeah,
trash this Tamio.
yeah. I think we're past the needing the Tamia.
Yeah,
Although if you have a read on Fairy Macabre, I think you should have if you have a read on Fairy Macabre, I think you should have kept Tamio over Consign.
step from hand. Yeah, I think you're right. It's just
Because
this.
it's what kind of starts grinding you back into the game.
Yep.
If they have Fairy Macabre here and you just get to play Tamio plus Wasteland, double Wasteland them, I think that's like pretty solid.
Yeah, like this was not my best move. There's the macabre.
Yeah, getting the
But at
Wasteland
least I
here.
can wasteland into oblivion.
Yeah,
And then I have Murktide
and
coming
you have
off.
Murktide next turn, so
So feeling pretty good here. It's a 6/6
uh,
Murktide. 7/7.
yeah. Did you already use one Surveil or no?
I believe I did.
Okay, I was gonna say I would just think through what you can consign there to if it's worth powering up the Murktide one more. It doesn't change the clock here, so it doesn't actually end up
I did
mattering.
not. Oh my
Like I
god.
thought. Loam.
That's bad because exploration's already in play.
So now they can play two parts, and next turn they can make a Merit Lage.
Yep. So time to surveil. It's not what I need. That's a little too late.
That's just a little late, yeah. So we need to find another borrower.
Yeah.
They
Or
are in a
she'll.
little weird spot where they can't necessarily block or attack though,
Yeah.
because you can jump with borrower.
Yeah. They took the draw step for turn.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess since they already had the thing, they're
They're
like, yeah,
not
it doesn't
looming.
really
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
We did this just while I'm tapped out.
Got it. That's smart.
Brainstorm firing that off.
Find it. Let's find it.
Oh, we did not find it.
You can reanimate Fairy Macabre here as
I
another
think
blocker.
I'm thinking about it, but I also don't want that to be face up. So my hope is that like he thinks he has me in the abyss, attacks
Right.
with
So he attacks, you attack,
but
and then
if I reanimate now, then he knows I have two blockers, and he knows that he loses the race.
got it.
He's too good of a player to like lose that face up.
Yeah.
So I'm weighing this for a long time. I don't know what to do. It's also I'm trying to figure out if I'm forcing, am I forcing pitching consign or is forcing pitching consign? Am I forcing pitching force?
Yeah, I think you put consign on top because your next turn's going to be reanimate if they don't know. I guess you could keep put reanimate on top too. It doesn't really matter, but I think you're force pitching force because you're going to want to consign plus reanimate next turn, or have the option to consign plus reanimate next turn.
Yeah, consign doesn't stop the dark depths though. Is the problem?
Right. It stops, like, I guess I'm trying to think of what random things it stops from this point, like another Shaziri step or a copy of a Shaziri step or something.
Yeah, not enough. I did keep it. I think there's a reasonable argument to just play out the um like having one of these fawns on top and playing out the EE.
Got it.
But so now I need to figure out what to force here. Also, he played this Life from Loam from hand, which means he still has the graveyard one. So I think I'm gonna fawn pitching consign and then
So you
save.
can hard cast Fawn next turn
Yep.
potentially if he doesn't attack. If he attacks, then your play is kind of forced. But
Yeah, exactly. This is awkward because I thought we were really far ahead.
yeah, that's what I mean with this deck is sometimes you're really far ahead until you're not,
Yep.
and then all the decisions leading up to until you're not ended up mattering where you didn't think they mattered.
Yep. I played a little loose and I'm getting maximum punished for it. Okay, so Spellbomb is milled, which kind of makes me feel good.
At least we have the loam here covered. And I wonder if he sends you into the abyss here. He might have no choice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping that he abysses me.
Because you're drawing to removal spells, right? You're drawing to more Murktide's removal spells. Like you're
Yep.
drawing to stuff, whereas he's drawing to less things than you are to
Yep.
get out of the spot. So abyssing you is on paper good right now, which makes it interesting. But
Yeah. So I think I EE for one here to pop the exploration. I'm trying to
yeah,
think about
makes sense.
like if he grabs another loam or something, then being able to pop the exploration before the lands can hit play is kind of where I want to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But this is very tense. I don't know what to do. Oh, and there's the loam. Okay, so I feel
Another loam.
smart.
Yeah.
But I emergency pop the EE. So he can only play one of these things. So he can play the Dark Depths and threaten a Merit Lage.
Which means he can attack and threaten a blocker.
Exactly. Or attack and just immediately sack it to create a blocker through Wasteland.
You have vigilance, yeah.
Yeah, give Merit Lage Vigilance. Because also he has Life from the Loam now, so Merit Lages are aplenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing. He's giving Merit Lage Vigilance. He chooses the untapped one. Very wise.
Smart.
Okay, so now I have Reanimate and Animate Dead. This is now I'm feeling like I have potential.
It's important here. Some people may not realize it. Is you want to reanimate the Fairy Macabre and you want to animate Dead the Brazen Bar because it creates lethal from both
Yeah.
of the tutus.
Yeah, and by some people may not realize that. I think you're talking to one of them.
Oh, got it.
Because I'm pointing that at the Brazen Borrower.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
Fairy Macabre only has one power under the animated.
yep, this is a really good point. Now, granted, I get it ends up not mattering, air quotes,
This is a blocker, yeah.
because yeah, it just has to be a blocker. But that's a really, really good point that if I had pointed it the other way around, I'd have 7+2, regardless of how you slice it.
Yeah, if he didn't have Fairy Macabre, then he just can't attack because you have lethal.
Yeah. Seven plus two or 7+2. So the Suguri step can name blue or black, and I'd still be fine.
Yep.
No, Lone
No,
is.
I feel like we're pretty dead here.
Yeah, I mean, I could top deck Shielders Edict, another Borrower.
Yeah. We have a couple draws, but
We got some outs, but that's not one of them. I think I just kind of hold on though, because technically speaking, I can jump for a turn. I'm not dead, but I am.
yeah, the constructs are coming into play, so it's unlikely, but it's definitely you're not 100% dead. And I think that that's an important thing too. Is you are playing a combo deck, so at some point in time, I think maybe you shouldn't play a land because you need like
Brainstorm.
brainstorm to convert into like two things here probably
Yeah,
to come back into this, but
yeah, I think you're right. Not conceding wasn't a mistake, but playing the Delta was. Drawing another Delta was also a mistake.
yeah, I wouldn't have done that for sure. That definitely would have been me.
Yeah, okay.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, so Thoughtseize is a lot better when I know,
There's a lot of fairy macabres, yeah.
yeah, Ferromacabres are floating around. Um, Now I'm trying to figure out what to cut. Cling to Dust is just a little low impact.
Yeah, I think Murktides are also fine to just get rid of. I think they're too likely to have like a maze of it to beat you, and I think you just want your Archon to try and win and your Dothies, but
Yeah, I
maybe it's wrong.
I agree with you. In hindsight, and the viewers can take this away. But this is not a keep. This is a keep.
Yeah, we got the goods.
And then I'll bottom the card I should have cut from the deck.
I wonder what it'd have been. What would it have been? I don't know.
It would have
Maybe a force.
been.
It would have been a force, maybe.
Could have
Tammy
been a
or a
force.
force, yeah. Yeah.
And it would have bottomed the Dothy and had force backup. Oh, that would have felt so good. Or bottom the Animate Dead, maybe.
Nope. Just need to dodge a furry and we're good.
I also could top deck a natural blue source. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
What do you go for here?
I think heads up like this, I still always just go for Archon because they could. Although if they have crop rot, they would get a bog here. So I think it's totally fine to just get a Traxia here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, the cheeky second main phase reanimate, hoping they have sixth. There's
no,
the fairy.
I was just hemming and hawing on myself.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, he had it. So the reason I went for it with Atraxa was actually a roundabout. I would rather long term have Archon in my deck still.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
But now I am kind of drawing dead here. Not super happy about this.
Dothy's pretty good though.
Yeah, Dothy is pretty good. Disruptive Flute. I figure whatever this names tells me a lot about how his hand is shaped.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And
it could just be like another Entomb.
It could be Entomb.
Could also be
Force
Fawn or
Will.
Will. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
That's kind of scary that you're gonna get choked here or something like that.
Yeah.
But
at least I have Swamp. None of my lands get choked right now.
That's true. Okay, I think this is actually an interesting decision. What do you do here?
I just jammed Dothy.
Okay. I think I like it because there's no guarantee that are we getting crop rotted? Yeah.
He just wants his graveyard.
Yeah, for sure.
You were saying?
I think it's interesting thinking about playing Tamio just because if you find another blue source, then you have like a win condition in play. Dothie's kind of a win condition, but it's like a little slow from the position we're in right now. So I think it's definitely interesting, but I think ultimately Dothie's probably the right choice because it puts pressure on them to where they might not be able to wasteland you.
Yeah, I was just in my mind's eye. This was the way to go. Oh my god, look at those crop rots.
They are rolling. I wonder if they have a loam in their hand. No, okay, Saga. We have this consign. That's nice.
It's nice. But unfortunately, Saga ticks to 2 before I'm able to consign.
Yeah, I think though the Saga going and getting map or something is kind of the scary thing it can do right
Yeah.
now.
So loam
Ugh,
goes to exile,
they're gonna waste us.
which is actually okay with me because that means I get to waste back. The boots. Because I need to get rid of this Urza Saga. So yeah, I was going to consign, I think, the third trigger, but now I'm just going to trade Dothie Voidwalker for Wasteland.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense now, especially because they can get a permanent graveyard hate piece from this.
Exactly.
And now you're a land away from an Archon of Cruelty.
Yep.
Seems like okay.
Yep, exactly. So, yep, Wasteland.
I wonder. I wonder if you're supposed to give them. Oh, you can't. Never mind. You can't play Wasteland at instant speed. I was gonna say give them an opportunity to make a construct, but
Yeah,
cannot do that.
I have to play it at land playing speeds, fortunately.
How dumb is this card? Come on, what's going
I
on
know.
now? Why
Not
can't we
fair.
play our instant speed Wasteland?
In response, Wasteland.
Yeah. Make your contract. All right, I'll Wasteland you.
uh, yep, that's fine, actually.
That's fine. All right, dealer. One time, give me my land.
Give me a land, please.
And don't have another fairy because you've had like 9 this match. I swear they have 4 fairies in their sideboard right now. That
Okay.
was a draw,
None.
and I guess we'll see. Oh, they don't have a fairy. Okay. Well, they would have just used it.
Yeah, okay. So we missed. We found 3 lands. We've got exactly 1 turn until the permanent hate hits. It's all or nothing. Woo!
There it is. Easy
That's
clap.
easy clap.
Not even close.
Yeah, it's a little close.
It's a little close.
It's a
I'm
little
surprised
close.
they're not drawing off the peat land.
Yeah. Okay, borrower is kind of nice to have.
Yeah. I wonder. So, how big do these contracts get? They get 4/4, then 5/5, then 6/6. Is this a
Yeah.
force block? It's not a force block though,
It's
because
not a
it's only
force
like
block. It's I'm
13.
taking 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a blue source means you're stable because you can attack plus
Yeah.
bounce if you find a blue
Yeah.
source.
Interestingly, if we rule out like Wasteland being untapped and being able to kill the Saga, a reanimate instead of animate dead here does actually put me to 13,
Got it.
which is
So it would
just
force a block.
enforceable.
Yeah.
But just neither here nor there. Just like that's how
Yeah.
big these hits are.
What your life total matters. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it really hurts.
Not making a construct's interesting. So they're going to get a Mazavith probably.
Even worse.
Tabber? No.
No, they're gonna
Tabber.
get Beseju and pop the animate dead.
Oh, for our animated. Okay.
Yeah. Another activated ability, not triggered.
Yeah.
But I get to get a basic island.
Our island.
I'm gonna get basics at this point, I think. Because I just need stable mana.
Wait. If they destroy your animate
Oh my
dead,
god. Could I have consigned that?
you can. Yeah, I think.
Whoa. I just missed
Is it
that.
in play in time? Is it in play in time? I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think you can consign that.
Could have consigned that. Holy shit, that would have been the coolest play ever. Okay. I really, as far as like things to achieve, I really want to just achievement unlock
You,
that.
you now want to unlock that.
Yeah. And sign the animate dead trigger living. Well,
It's all right. We found the reanimate again.
We got there.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
god.
luck, skill, victory, right?
Yeah, seriously. But wow, yeah, I could have consigned that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually done that. So you definitely it looks like you can, but yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah, I had never even considered that. But yeah, it's a triggered effect.
Yeah,
Triggered
it's
ability.
it's one of those things to where like every once in a while, even on activated abilities, you guys can make fun of me if you want. I'll just click on consign to see if it highlights. I'll be like, is this like something or can I do this or not? Like, cause I just it's like obviously I can read whether it's a triggered or activated ability, but at the same time, sometimes you're just like,
Yeah, I
all right,
mean,
I'm just gonna click consign and see if it highlights. And if it doesn't highlight, then
yeah.
it's not
Oh,
triggered, right?
yeah. Oh my god, that would have been insane. So now
Yeah, I
I'm,
think also leaving this polluted delta uncracked is smart, right? So
yeah, and I'm leaving Wasteland uncracked as well because there's so many other things that could matter, like a Maze of Ith or all that stuff, all that jazz.
yep.
And if you waste me, get there. But ooh, got the GG's called.
Nice.
What a match. Okay, so match 3. We ready?
We
We found
we are ready.
a
We
classic
found a
Eureka
classic
opener.
mic hand. Yeah, classic mic hand. I mean, arguably it should be a reanimate or a second land, but
Yeah.
it's fine. Beggars can't be choosers.
So this looks like combo to me. Basic Island preordained.
Yeah. Well, it could be cutter. It's either cutter or show and tell. I would say.
Yeah, but for some reason I got the show and tell read.
Yeah, I think I know this. I think this person plays show and tell, so that checks out. Now we have the double force.
Yeah,
Wait, what are we doing? We got double force. Why are we doing
I'm
this?
going Thoughtseize
Coward.
and punished.
Coward.
Coward.
With double force, I think you just want to like enable your deck.
Yep.
One of the things that I learned about oh, now we're wastelanded.
Yep.
One of the things that I learned about playing this deck is leaning into understanding the power potential of your deck um versus like what you should be scared of out of your opponent. And I think that doing certain things like casting um like a thought seize when you have double force and tomb reanimated is an example of like just not trusting that your dex is powerful or more powerful than what your opponent can do.
Yep. And I lost because of it. Or I mean,
It
I'm
also
not
doesn't
dead,
make
but
you expose, which you said you had a show and tell read, so that's cool. But like, because it also you don't have to fetch that land either, right?
yeah.
Right then. Here's the cutter, yeah.
Yep. This is Cutter getting cut.
Sometimes that just means that I play too much Magic too, though. That's also a possibility. I think I play too much Magic.
No, but this is why we're doing Tryhard Mode here. We're reviewing
Okay.
these. We're reviewing matches that I won to find places I could have played better because
Oh yeah, I guess every once in a while it pauses in my memory that you 5-0'd this league, so you're winning this no matter what.
yeah, but the tension is still there because it's like you don't know
Yeah,
that.
maybe
Like you
these
don't.
were some 3-0 games too, right? Maybe these are
Yeah,
some 3-0 matches.
exactly. Yeah, I feel really dumb for not seizing there because you're right. Double
I,
force means that I should just trust the deck and not expose it.
I mean, I worth noting we still haven't found our second land, so I'm not entirely sure. Although, yeah, I guess you would if you didn't double force, then you could cast a brainstorm if you brick there. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely not guaranteed that we win.
yeah. I mean,
This
in
is
the
the hard
same.
matchup because I think Cutters. This is the one that's like your play matters so much in this matchup because look how much damage they can push.
Yeah, I'm functionally dead here with the bolt. I'm
Yeah,
literally dead with the bolt actually.
yeah. Even a spell, you're
3, 3,
10.
4
You're
is
basically dead.
10. A bolt is um 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's the bolt.
there's the bolt. We did.
Got me.
Okay, so got the crap beaten out of me there. Felt a little bit silly for exposing my land like that, but
I think this is one. Do you like Dothy in this matchup?
um, I don't really because it doesn't block.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think this deck's too aggressive for Dothy. I think historically, like Dothy was okay against the non-cutter ones, but now
Yeah.
I think it's like kind of meh.
Now I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to cut to go down to 60. I feel like Days is on the play, but they're
Yeah, I
also
think
more efficient.
Shieldred's Edict does answer Murktide Regent, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice. So it might be better than a Force or a Daze as well. Because I think the Forces and Dazes are like entirely cuttable. That's how I look at them. Is I think the Forces and Dazes are entirely cuttable. It's just how many you end up having room to cut is kind of how it lines up.
Yep, that makes sense. Turn one Tameo here.
Yeah, reasonable.
Pressure on.
It pressures them to not wasteland you, right? Like they're
Right.
unlikely to wasteland you into it too. There's a cage.
Red
Well,
mana growth keeper's
luckily,
cage.
yeah, luckily our hand is Barrow plus. Oh, here's our Entomb Reanimate. This is interesting. I'm curious if you play out this EEN one.
I do. And so the reason why I
Yeah,
do that is because basically I want to set up the situation where they are incentivized not to remove my Tameo. Because if they remove it, then I can just pop
freely blow it up.
EE freely.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you consider like were you very likely to um cast Entomb? Because otherwise, I think Undercity Sewers may have made just more sense just to get it done.
Yeah, I'm casting Entomb. I'm
Okay,
casting it as like a this thing almost doesn't matter as you have a cage in
got it.
play. But also I showed you that I can remove it.
Yeah. I guess the rub's just like you can't reanimate next turn anyway, plus
Mhm.
activate EE unless you draw land and you're playing into days. But you can play a Barrowglyph to start like pulling the dazes out of their hand and the counter magic out of their hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna rush the EE pop at this point.
Yeah.
Because also, as far as the sequencing there, I can with a flipped Tameo, I can eventually rebuy Entomb. I can't rebuy EE.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So
makes sense. I
Misties.
guess my question was just is there any world where we want to slam Barrowglyph this turn?
Maybe, but we drew a brainstorm instead.
Brainstorm's pretty sick.
So I get a little greedy and fire it off now because of this
Yeah,
EE
if they have a
being that
Pyroblast, we're in some trouble.
right. But then also if they do that, then all of a sudden my EE is free.
Yeah,
So this is kind of like a hey, if you kill my Tameo in response, I'm okay with that.
sure. That makes sense.
Let it resolve. I
Ooh.
find Force blue card plus reanimate. So I'm actually like gradually putting away Barrowglyph.
Yeah. But the fact that you can end step bloat EE if you felt like it, and then untap and
Yeah.
protect it with force is pretty cool.
Now I'm kind of regretting my decision because I want to crack a clue instead, I think.
Got
It's
it.
like having this living Tameo is pretty good as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part. But although the living Tameo is only good until blast interacts, so
Yeah.
it's like kind of okay. I think minusing it once is pretty good. Like the value of getting a clue plus a Tameo minus is probably worth waiting a turn on the like combo.
Yeah. The
Although
ancestor recall.
again, this is the hard part where their pressure can come out of nowhere, which is problematic.
Yep. Like this.
Yeah.
And now they have a second one drop in play, which is making me feel a little bit better about all this sequencing. So if my plan is, I don't think I played this super well. I think my plan is to EE here, and then I change my mind at the last moment and crack a clue instead.
Yeah, your question is like basically whether cracking EE plus reanimate backed by force of will. Like the question is, would they have used a pyroblast if they had it already? Like, what do
Yeah,
you think? Like looking back at this, do you think they would have used a pyroblast?
and now they
They're
are.
clearly using it now. Yeah. But
And
now you can do everything, so it's totally fine. You can just crack E on your own turn, and then you can reanimate plus force, and they don't have pyroblast up. So
right,
now you just have to like, and if you draw a land, now you beat double force here, which is fine.
right, because I drew a land, so now I can play run
Or
days.
you beat force plus days, sorry.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, Atraxa coming in hopefully,
Yep.
and hopefully that works.
Animate Dead is the best thing to hit off of Atraxa,
That's why
100%.
that's why I like hitting playing two of them also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brainstorm Borrower Delta.
I think Entomb might be better than Brainstorm here.
I could see that. Yeah, that actually makes a
Because
lot of
if they have a
sense.
because if they have a pyroblast here or something, like you may just pick up Archon anyway.
And
Pyroblast plus.
that
Well,
makes a ton of
you know
sense.
they. Yeah.
Yeah, Entomb is a good one. Okay, what do they got? Nothing.
Think they're dead.
Okay, so I think Days is out completely on the draw just because they're so efficient.
Yeah.
Treasure's Edict looking good. Considering Voidwalkers, considering Days, considering a Thoughtseize. I bring in one Days. I see your arguments for Edict also. I just think in my head it's a little bit slow. Or
Yeah.
it doesn't hit the Murktide because they have a Darcy as well.
Yeah,
But
for
it
sure.
does kill a lot of things. This is a decent one. This is technically one of those go to discard hands.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I
You know they
want
have
to do that game 3.
Cage,
Yeah.
so it's interesting to if
Yeah, I
since they
think
didn't Cage on one, now you get to if you want.
yeah, exactly. And I think the hand is good enough that I can play like kind of normal magic with it.
I think if you draw a second land.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. If you draw a second land, it is. I think if you're running on one land, it's a little tougher.
Yeah, I could see that. I think the scars of game 1 are still with me. Haunted by Wasteland. Ooh,
Yeah.
drawing Brainstorm I think is a I'm gonna go basic Island Tameo. Like I
Interesting.
don't know if
Okay.
that's necessarily the best play to make, but it's what I want to do with the hand.
Yeah, so the thing is like I think it's fine, but the thing is like you're still ultimately with the context of your hand gonna need two black sources to do your combo.
Yeah.
You're playing into days on this force of will. Like if they play a cage, are you forcing it?
Um,
Um,
no, I guess I wasn't going to, but now what I'm excited for is if I draw a fetch land, which I do, I can surveil,
yeah, and then you can try and cast the Baraglyph,
but I
or
screw
you
it
can
up.
surveil your.
I screw it
Got
up.
it. So-
I meant to just surveil and then
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to the
yeah.
brainstorm, and I just clicked it wrong.
It's interesting from this point. Like maybe you just plan to ride this Baraglyph.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking about. But I also now still have that surveil next turn if I want to try that.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think now I'm just going to try to
Ponder.
ponder and get a really strong, or maybe I want to redraw Baraglyph or Fatal Push.
Got it. Yeah.
I think I accidentally put Fatal Push on top. Having Baraglyph on top would be better.
Yeah, so I guess where my head was going at with thinking about it is like the Entomb Reanimate, it gets punished a lot more by their deck, which is mono cantrips into like an interactive piece for your combo that they know you play. Whereas like your Barrogoyf plus Reanimate Barrogoyf is like kind of hedging in both ways. Barrogoyf's really good against them. They have to have an answer to that, but then they also have to respect the graveyard, which just gives you a little bit more like flexibility in how you're playing or how you're playing your hand out.
Yeah, I think I am under respecting Baragoyf in my head.
Yeah, the thing that well, so when I talk about that, I think like Barragoyf in this matchup has it's unlike previous where it has a very small window where it's amazing, and if you get behind in it, it's not good enough anymore.
So do you fire off the reanimate in 2 days?
Got it.
I
Ace plus
am.
blast. I mean, I think it's not going to work here.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work either, but I kind of wanted to hope. And I
Yeah, I
think I
think
pitched the
because
wrong
they're also
spell.
representing blast. What'd you pitch?
Tammy, I think I should have pitched Murktide or Brazen Borrower.
Okay. Yeah. Well, nah, I don't think so. I think you're too cold to a Murktide Regent right now. I think you have to keep the bar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I pitched Tamia, but like as far as crawling back into it, because now I'm
Yeah,
yeah. A borrower also bounces any hate card that like
a graveyard
Fracture's
hate.
Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
here's the
that's
Murktide.
yeah. I don't love how I played that. I think that reanimate. But first of all, have if this fatal push was Barrogoyf, I'd be way better off. Like I stacked that brainstorm wrong, and then I made a strategic decision wrong by reanimating
Yeah.
in two
Well, and
days.
and that's why I think this matchup's so hard is because you could even argue that maybe some of these things were not even like strictly incorrect plays, but you just don't have the flexibility to misjudge certain situations because they're so punishing if you misjudge them in this matchup.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm really grateful for the fact that I had a borrower there.
Yeah. That bar was very good. I mean, obviously they can redeploy Murktide here, but it's smaller and it's a turn behind, and you're going to get to Surveil plus Ponder to find a reanimate.
Yeah, they miss on lands.
And they're also missing on Cage. That's pretty good.
That is quite good. Okay, so Tamio on top. Do you draw her?
No, I think I'm just surveilling looking for reanimate. I think that
Same.
they've shown cages. They could have surgical also, but I think I'm looking for a reanimation effect.
Yep, it's not getting better.
Yeah, Tamio dies to Bolt, Tamio dies to Pyroblast, Tamio dies to a lot of like pressure as well. So
Yep, it's a shuffle to
yeah,
me.
shuffle it. Yeah.
Not what I want.
I guess we're jamming this brazen bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it on the upkeep.
Yep.
They're gonna spend. Now they're just going Murktide.
Yeah, they did have Bolt for the Tamio for what it's worth.
Yep. Now they know my top card. I don't know it.
Yeah, you can look at how they play, and if they play in like a certain way, like not scared at all or whatever, then you could upkeep Entomb. But
Yeah. But Brainstorm kind of, when they have Murktide as an option, implies they're scared to me.
they're scared of the top card of the deck. I agree. Otherwise, I don't think they cast this brainstorm here. I think they just slam Murktide.
Yep. Good read. That's like you can infer a lot about your card by their play, and that's interesting. I think that
Yeah,
probably most people wouldn't consider that sort of thing. I don't know if I was fully considering it in like at least consciously in the moment. I don't know if subconsciously.
Yeah, well, especially when yeah, they have information and then they make a play based on it. That's why Thoughtseize is such a complicated card, right?
Yep.
Um this now makes me want to kind of entomb, um but yeah, so like when you think about, that's why Thoughtseize is so complicated, because if you, for example, if they Thoughtseize you and they saw a Baraglyph and they don't take it, like they could have a daze in their hand, right? Or they could
Right.
not have a daze in their hand, and they could be telling you that they have a daze in your hand, and you respect daze because why would they not take it if they didn't have daze,
Yep.
right? But
It's like
so
what
it's
level?
just
What
an
level are you
interesting
on?
mind game. Exactly.
I did not expect that forcible to resolve.
Yeah, I didn't either. Ooh,
But
we are rolling high here. Let's go.
cooking with
I think we get into
gas.
combat first, because they might pyroblast to relieve pressure. Probably not, but I think you just attack in case they do
I think you're right.
pyroblast.
100%. This was a minor
Again, a
mistake.
lot of the time this stuff doesn't matter, but unholy heat. Okay.
Fortunately, it was a heat, not a pyroblast, so it didn't matter. But if it was, it could have
Yeah.
bobble. So they're gonna bobble me.
Dodging cutter here is pretty good for us.
Yep, I reveal Entomb. So given that I've revealed it, I'm just gonna use it.
Definitely just entombing. This is where entombing for Kling would be really sick if you still had it in your deck.
Yeah, but I can't cage. I can't cast it through cage. Is
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, 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 that's true.
But in general, yes, Entombing for Cling would be really sick. On Reanimate.
Yeah, let's just find another borrower or EE.
Or just hope they can't answer my Murktide.
There's a borrower. Yeah.
So one thing I was considering here and I didn't do is Fatal Push my Murktide in response. Because right now
To
it's going to
give
become a
yourself another power.
6/6. It's going to be a 6/6,
Just
which dies
one
to heat.
short. Yeah. Oh, it's also one short of double turn.
Yeah. So
Of
7
double.
7.
And it also dies to bolt plus block with
Yeah.
brazen bar.
So I didn't end up doing that. And now I'm kind of regretting it when I sum up all the things you just said. Because I was just considering heat in the moment. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons to just throw a Fatal Push on my Murktide there. I've also attempted to reanimate.
Here's the cutter. Oh yeah, you could have reanimated like a Tameo too.
Now I lose my Murktide.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Find the removal spell for cage. You can do it, I believe.
I believe.
Oh, that's a good
That kind
one.
of
That's a
counts.
good one. That's a good one.
How many unholy
the
heats you got, buddy?
we shuffled it away so we could find it right now.
On turn 10.
Oh, if we get to a connect with this, there's not much that feels more like winning than connecting with a Barrogoyf. But there, it looks like they're gonna bounce it. Oh,
They're just cast. That made me
they're
feel so
pretending,
good.
pretending like you can block. Oh, we found another one. Got him.
Yeah, so you're saying about Baragoi being really good in the matchup? I see that.
Yeah, the earlier the better. Like if this cutter was popping off, it would be a little late. But oh, there's the
Yeah.
Murktide double spell. It's like an embarrassment of riches. Let's go.
Let's put Baragoi down. Okay. Fine with me. They got the double spell off the borrower plus force there. Kind of funny.
For what it's worth, I don't know that I would have noticed this in the moment, but I think because Pyroblast is like the card that's most likely if they do have a force of will there, you probably are supposed to lead on Murktide.
Oh, that makes sense.
Just because the most common removal spell would be like a Pyroblast, and if they cantrip into Pyroblast or something, like
Yep.
I'm not saying you're dead, but like I think it's like the worst thing that could happen to you.
Yeah, having two Baragoyfs here is better than having a Baragoyf plus Murktide.
Yeah, but I mean, we're getting in there. Come on, opponent, what you gonna
Yeah.
do?
There's no set of blocks that beats me.
Yeah.
This double block makes no sense. I think it was a tilt based double block,
It doesn't even kill, yeah.
but
You're in the abyss, opponent.
yeah.
Welcome to the abyss.
Okay, Barrowglyph did it. Good job, Big
Let's
Barrow.
go. Let's go. That's why we have 3.
Yep. Okay. So round 4.
Another Dees opener.
Keruga.
What is Keruga lands? I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure
Are
it
we
out.
shitting this? Are we scared?
I think it's my guess is creative technique.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I'm
hand
scared.
was hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a smart draw.
It was. Thank you.
I wonder if Ponder's better than Entomb here. Because you can upkeep Entomb if you want to after the Ponder, and if you find land
That,
plus Reanimate, that's pretty good.
that's a good point. Well, I didn't hit, so now I'm looking for like a force.
Yeah. Or Wasteland is like, okay.
Yeah. Reanimate. So tempting.
Yeah, so this is the example where if we pondered, there's
Yep.
like a chance that we could have seen this and then we would have known.
Yep.
Um, just as like a thought experiment. But
Exactly. Now I just been
I have
the.
to hope Days protects us. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is tight because they're showing 4 mana.
Yeah. It's like the throws is basically the thing that we get to counter right now, or 1 mana plus
Like
the cascade
yeah,
or the
yeah. Now they have 5.
creative technique. Now it needs to be creative technique. If it's throws, then we're dead.
Except they cast
Oh,
throws and
they're
they
so
don't.
greedy. They're so greedy.
Yeah. Show and tell.
Oh my man. Oh, this is like the PVD
Yep.
special.
Yeah, this is show and technique.
Yeah, I opponent, you're a little greedy. I think you deserve this one.
Yep. It is.
Deserve that one.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back next turn, so
That's I think the wait. That's the decision, right? Like, hey, I can throws twice, or I can throws
yeah, we need a
rotates.
wasteland though. If we find a wasteland, we're in good shape, but
No, I mean I'm only
forces.
playing 2 main deck is the thing, right? Like,
Got it. Yeah.
so obviously a little
Yeah.
bit
I think we just put
rushed.
one of these Tamios in play, right?
I think I'm gonna ponder for a second force because I need 2 answers if they creative technique me.
That makes sense. Okay.
I find a daze. I think it's enough.
They didn't respect it last time. What's the chance they respect it this time?
I mean, yeah, because I mean, surprise and scary is about to go away with another tap.
Yeah, that's true. So they may not also sack the Sulfur Falls
Right.
or whatever it's called.
Exactly. Sulfur vent.
Yes, the very commonly played legacy staples.
Okay, so it's a
All
creative
right.
technique.
So we got the
Scary.
days plus the course.
Yeah,
Let's take our copy.
yeah, I got a free Thoughtseize. I'll take
Oh,
it.
geez, let's go. This game's great.
So it's actually his protege and one with the multiverse.
I don't know. Probably one with the multiverse, but I think they're both whatever.
Yeah, I don't realize that protege has Cascade. When
Oh
I
yeah,
take,
Protege is also only 6 mana, so I think you should probably just take the Protege.
yeah, I think I
But
should have taken protege. I think I fucked up, but multiverse is scary because like that's the win
yeah,
condition.
it has so much text on it.
Yeah, like if you're playing one with the multiverse, it's not to like not win with it.
Mess around, exactly. You're not fucking around if you play that. Like, All right. Okay, so Murktide puts lethal here. Is that what you're thinking?
Or Tameo, exactly. Murktide puts lethal or Tameo flip. But
Threatens
that's
force
but
of
that's
will.
also like almost lethal too, but it brainstorms. I'm gonna hedge and try to find a wasteland.
I think that's greedy.
It was. I don't like it in hindsight.
I guess you can ponder now for a force is also like mostly fine.
Yep. Like that.
There's the force. Yeah, sure.
There's the wasteland after I
There's
play a
the
land.
wasteland too. Yeah, so you're fine now.
Yeah.
I think if you take the creature, then you basically have to fade another technique or whatever for one turn, but you have lethal. So I think that's just like the safest thing.
Yeah. Taking the one or the one with the multiverse is good because like throws cascades into show and tell.
Got it. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not used to playing against a show and tell version. You're right.
But yeah, it's the reason this deck is kind of hard to play against is because it has so many various lines. I'm just gonna
This is
force
gonna
that.
come back again next turn, right?
Yeah, but I have a wasteland, and they're not gonna be able to find fourth land
Make
plus
nothing. Yeah.
retrace.
Yeah.
So now I have everything settled out. So I'm preventing the one that randomly gets them to 5 mana.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
This I think was a mistake. I think I should have just held a borrower.
And because of what you took, you're not dead to like top deck show and tell.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so snuck through
Good
game
guy
one.
wins.
Yep, and then consign is great
Consign's
against.
pretty sick against Cascade, yeah.
Yeah. Like so graveyard is actually good against this deck because of all the retracing and stuff.
Yeah.
Borrower does pretty close to nothing. Murktides, I think I'm winning or losing by more than a Murktide Regent.
They do play ley lines sometimes in their sideboard.
Yeah.
Mindbreak Trap and Leyline are like the two bad cards they can hit that sometimes they play.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Keruga has been revealed. Tameo hand.
We got a Wasteland. I think we just let's keep it.
I keep it.
I think Spellbomb might be a little sus.
Yeah, I mean it's basically kills the retrace,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a reach. They're going to 5.
I think like an extra blue card for the 6 forces is interesting. Oh, here's the Leyline.
Yeah. Okay, so
We got a Tameo, so
I go Tameo.
yeah, I think that's fine. Juicy Wasteland target. Let's go.
Yeah, get out of here. End attack. Feeling good.
Yeah. Tameo's pretty sick in this type of a situation.
Feeling a lot worse.
Oh. Got me.
I guess I'll put
It
it.
got me. Oh, yikes.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm fucked. So I
Where's
guess I'm
my
just gonna
blue
cantrip
card?
desperately.
Yeah.
And then I don't doesn't even cantrip because Layla in the void.
Because Leyline, yeah. Dedge.
Well, I fucked
I
up.
guess not like technically. We have a hard cast fawn here, so it's like
Yeah, but
maybe we.
they get a free
It's
cast
so
every turn.
unlikely. Yeah.
Keep on reading one of the multiverse.
You're like, what does this do? It's like an omniscience partly, but then also it's like off the top of your deck.
Yeah. I guess they can choose. They choose not to cast show and tell, which is kind of a interesting note.
Wait, what were they expecting to hit off that then?
I don't know.
Keruga, where's our Thoughtseize?
Yeah, right. Thoughtseize reanimate Keruga.
Do it.
Please and thank you. Pondering.
Well, we can flip our Tamio now.
Yep.
It's a race.
And we found Force of Will, so they can force the Keruga and reanimate it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean my next two draws are bad, but it's a plan. And I like
At
having
least
a plan.
you are drawing through. You can upkeep and tomb if you want to too.
Yeah.
To pick up a blue card. Like then it gives you 2 draws, clue plus draw step to hit blue card. That's like
Oh
maybe okay.
no.
We better hope ours hits something.
Hey, it shuffles the deck.
Yes, it does.
Animate dead. Nope.
We can't cast that. There's no targets. Nice second animate dead. I'm just kidding.
Thanks. Put it in my deck to draw it.
I always let the first one resolve to see how bad it is, and then I counter the second one. Does that double down? That doesn't do anything, right?
I think each of them. I don't know. I think they might get to cast 2 things for free. I don't know. I'm gonna fawn it.
Fawn, yeah.
Maybe I should just let that resolve.
Hard cast fawn for what it's worth.
Yeah. Turns out to not matter.
Yikes.
It's fucking Carnosaur. I was so cocky this game.
Yeah. I think the game felt pretty good, but yeah, I think ley lines are something. You don't have borrowers in your deck, right?
No, I cut them foolishly.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying. I think that's like something that doesn't happen after you're fully prepped for a tournament. You're like, all right, this deck definitely has. I mean, not that you would be decked against the create and show or whatever, but
show and technique, yeah.
Well,
they hit Atraxa off of my Itali or off their Itali, so.
Oh, nice, classic.
I conceded to that. I'm weighing what to cut.
Let's get rid of the animated. Get him out. Get him out of here. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's between those and the graveyard, like the cheap graveyard hate, not Dolphins. Yeah. I think these are fine.
Yeah, but like the Macabres.
Yeah.
Macabre and Kling. I could have seen going down to any number, any combination of those.
Yeah. I think they're like, to your point, they're fine. They like deal with retrace on throws and stuff like that. But they're like, when you're dealing with like a subset of things, it's like, are they better than your other cards that are also doing something similar to that?
It's a great question.
An interesting hand.
I'm excited about this Archon of Cruelty because I want to put it into play off of Show and Tell.
That's sick. I don't know that it ever beats their one with a multiverse, though.
I don't know if it does either, but I want to put it into play off of Show and Tell.
I actually like leading Thoughtseize on them because you still have the Surveil plus Brainstorm, and they don't have like a good way to interact with it. So I think it's like, or you have like Tamio Flip, which is pretty good.
I think I go turn 1 Tamio and then turn 2 Brainstorm Thoughtseize.
Yeah, I think they're mostly not doing anything on turn 1, so that's like totally fine, right?
Yeah, turn 2 apparently is their critical turn. They have access to 3 mana or 4.
Yeah,
if they
makes sense.
They like turn 1. One of the what are the depletion lands? Is that what they're called?
The Sappers and Scaries or whatever. Yeah,
scary.
But this is the interesting. I mean, this is like why people complain about the blue-black Reanimator deck is like, look at your hand. If your opponent's on 5 and then they put a ley line in play, you're like, deal. They don't even put a ley line in play. But if they put a ley line in play, you're like, all right, cool.
Cool, you're on 4. Yeah.
Cool, you're on 4, and I have this flip Tamio that can you do something in 3 turns? Good luck.
Exactly, yeah. This is why this deck is so good. Days was a
All right,
fantastic pickup.
I feel a little bit better. Yeah, we also have the Thoughtseize too. So between Thoughtseize and Days, it feels like you're probably okay. Ooh, Voidwalker's
A nice
also
pickup.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just like I feel like maybe we should have put that Archon away. Oh, you said you want to keep it for the show and tell. That
It's
makes
just a
sense.
hedge, yeah.
Yeah.
Greater
Take
technique.
creative technique.
Yep. I'm
I
trying
think the
to,
Otawara is gonna beat the Tamio ult speed.
yeah. But I can also minus
If we go to
Tamio.
6. Yeah. I was just trying to think like if they had it covered from interesting.
So I have a better plan.
Just pick up it.
I'm
Oh
gonna play
no.
Voidwalker this turn.
Okay.
Then
And then
my
you're gonna
plan
thought
is, yeah, next turn I'm gonna minus and
on there one with the multiverse.
yep, and then cast it, and then
Yeah,
cast a free Archon of Cruelty.
that seems sick. You gotta like fade for one turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to fade for a turn.
That
But
seems sick.
yeah, I've got to fade like what exactly throws or show and tell.
Yeah.
But it seemed like so much fun. Got to do it.
Yeah, that does seem like sick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the reason people play this deck is to experience this, right?
Exactly. Thoughtseize yourself? No, take your one. Cast your one with the multiverse.
Yep. Good chow.
Now you're like, it's gonna pop up and tell me what all this card does. Look at this reanimate.
Yep.
Land and tomb reanimate.
Yeah. I can just hardcast Traxa for free. I'm just gonna put Dothy back in play. I don't know why I'm doing that.
You could put it. You could put a Traxa plus Archon in play, right?
Oh,
there you go. Never punished. Never punished.
Never punished.
This game's
Yeah.
so easy. Max is too good.
But that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake.
We got the Wasteland too. Let's go. Your play was way better, Max.
It worked out better, but it was wrong.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
No, I know. But it's good
you
for the
picked up
viewers.
Wasteland plus Force. Like, yeah, it is.
Yeah. But for the viewers,
better.
my play was wrong. Mike's play was better. This is why we review games we win. But I am having the most fun.
You are having way more fun than your opponent for sure.
Okay.
Wait. Can you play Force for free on their turn, or is it only on your own turn?
I don't know.
I don't know what the card does.
Once during your turn.
We're winning. Who cares?
Okay, and we're on the play for round 5.
Let's go.
Oh.
And we opened a banger. Let's go.
Okay. How do you do this one?
I'm just land go 100%.
What do you think I do?
Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
the land go, you have days protected like potential kill. You have brainstorm if they wasteland you, and if they play a wasteland and you don't, and you Thoughtseize here and you see a wasteland, you're like, just please come on.
I know I do, and it was wasteland deck
we
too.
Did not see the wasteland. Yeah, but we didn't see the wastelands at least.
No, but I'm such a dummy.
It's also interesting because you don't have a land drop if you're just supposed to take the days here and then days the Thoughtseize. I think that's like maybe okay.
Yeah. I figured I could probably...
Because now you're not trading. Now you have to beat the days. So you found land. Okay.
Which I did like a master. But
yeah.
So now my play is pretty straightforward where I'm going to, on end step, I'm going to entomb. And then
you're surveil for a third land.
And then I'm just going to throw a brainstorm into the days.
Oh, that works. Yeah. You could also surveil for a third land. It's kind of similar,
also surveil for a third land.
Good, yeah.
I figure that either they let me go 3 cards deep, or I get the days out of their hand.
And you're force checking right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
So
get a Trax. They can't attack into a Trax either.
yeah,
I do this too, and I think it's just wrong because Brazen Bar, they can actually beat you. You just want to Traxa because Tamio can't attack into a Traxa, which is basically the reason that you would get the Archon here.
yeah. I was looking at the 8/8 Murktide.
Yeah, but you're gonna find another, like, you have an animate dead, so you're gonna find another reanimate spell probably off of it, or a
Yeah,
counter spell for the Murktide.
yeah.
And their Murktide's not even close to an 8/8 yet.
Yep, I should have gone for a Trakta.
I think that's something that it was a good bait on the days there. That's something that Andreas taught me a lot, is like, just don't, like, do not overvalue like almost everyone overvalues Archon.
Yeah.
Like it'll win the game here probably a good most of the time, but they did have the force.
So I'm just gonna pray.
Brainstorm and time force. Let's
Yep.
see it. Easy clap. Never didn't have it is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And you're right.
never didn't. Played this game flawlessly. Easy.
Narrator, he did not play this game flawlessly. Yeah. So I think the reason why I only play 3 Thoughtseize is because I can't play them correctly.
Hey, Thoughtseize is a really hard card. Entomb's a really hard card. Show and Tell's a really hard card. There's a lot of hard cards in Magic.
Yeah. My opponent's about to have a really hard learning experience.
They're not realizing that this is sacking a Planeswalker too, huh? Sad for them.
Yep.
Not like it really matters because they're plussing it and then losing it anyway, but
yeah,
it's rough for them.
Also, they confirmed tempo with that discard.
Yeah, which means now you can upkeep Entomb if you really felt like it, but not that it really matters. But okay, they're dead. Yeah,
they're dead.
If you're pondering with one land, you are dead. Later, Gator.
Shuffle.
That does make you feel way better knowing that, like, just knowing which deck they're on. That's nice.
Yeah. I think they should have conceded before discarding the Nethergoyf.
Yeah, I agree. But again, that's like a little nuance of, did they even realize that you didn't know yet? Like, they would have had to like actively think about that, and I think some people don't do that.
Yeah. But again, for tryharding for Eternal Weekend, this is the kind of thing we think about.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we should put a note on here, because I feel like the conversations that we're having are relatively like nitpicky.
Yeah.
Because so I think that you have to take it with the understanding that, look, we're winning all of these matches. You don't have to be this nitpicky, but if you're trying to maximize your chance of winning, like, you should point out where you could like sequence things better, especially when in hindsight you can see how it's not just that you lost because you do it. You didn't have to lose. There was not a downside, right? Where there's a downside, it's like then it's you're weighing that downside. And we've talked about a couple of things where, like, it's not clear which one was necessarily the correct line and it was kind of weighted, but there's times where it's just free and you get punished, and it was free to not get punished in certain situations.
Exactly. I'd like a lot of these matches, the first 3 I won 2-1. I lost a game in each one of them. And like, or actually no, 1, 2, and 4. I guess I lost game 2 of Show and Technique, which again I was a little bit loose and had a window for my opponent to resolve Show and Tell. But like, there's like little things like that consign on the animate dead, leave the battlefield trigger. I didn't think about,
which is a really cool one. Yeah, it's never came up for me too. And that's the other thing, like, you're banger. That's the thing, is like, a lot of people don't realize that, like, there's a lot of nuanced situations that just never come up or don't come up enough to like punish you ever. And the one time it does, you didn't realize it because of it.
Yep.
Playing fetch here is really smart, right?
It
What are
is
we
if
doing?
I play better. Oh, because they went basic swamp. I'm gonna go Entomb.
I think that, I mean, all their graveyard hates spell bombs, though.
Yeah.
So I think you're giving them information here. I see you're playing around days, but I think you're giving them information to like cantrip for a spell bomb versus just playing a fetch and saying go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because now Spellbomb plus like Days beats this, which they may not have prioritized those cards. Maybe they would. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah,
But
I
now
guess.
you know they're looking for a Spellbomb.
Yeah, I mean, if I hold Entomb and just do it, then simply Days beats it, as opposed to Spellbomb plus Days. For what it's worth.
Yes. I'm just trying to think of, yes, it does, but they may not be looking for specific things because it's like face up what they need to beat. Looks like we're just cooking them here. Let's go.
And it's also nice if everything goes to shit here. I do have Entomb Reanimate dead.
And to reanimate again. Fair magic.
Okay, so I don't want to take the Archon because I have Entomb Reanimate dead. We'll take the rest of
Yeah,
it.
just take everything else.
Thoughtseize.
Don't mind if I do.
And a perfect 7-card hand.
For what it's worth, you could have taken and then hand sized the Archon. I don't know if that's better than saving the Entomb.
Oh, yeah. Probably is better because then Entomb's a brainstorm fodder.
Yeah.
And I can Thoughtseize plus Animate dead next turn.
Yeah.
Again, little things doesn't matter. Like, or
Yeah.
little thing likely won't affect the outcome of this game, but it might.
Exactly. And like the games that you lose are the ones that the question starts to be asked, like you whether it would have mattered in that situation, right? And sometimes the answer would have been yes, that you could have won games that you lost. And sometimes it's you win anyway, right? But the times when you lose your games that are important and you could have done something small that was slightly better is the ones that you're trying to kind of do better with. Yeah, this is the situation where now like you could have, if the Archon was in the graveyard, you would Thoughtseize into it.
Yeah, and I could have beaten the counterspell.
Having a non-protected, exactly.
Yep. Now, granted, my opponent didn't have it, but they could have.
Exactly. So if they have it, that's what I'm saying, and that's what the viewers need to think is like, if they had it, you now would be punished. But just because they didn't, doesn't make it a play that you shouldn't think about and try and do.
Right. It still mattered. I still made a mistake. Because I didn't think about going to 8 cards. I just thought about, I don't need Archon because I have Entomb. I didn't actually really count my hand size.
Yeah. Which hindsight's like super easy for me staring at a screen to be like, oh, there's 7 cards in your hand. That would be the 8th card.
Right.
Who knows if in the moment you think about it, but you hope that if you have conversations, which is kind of why we're doing this, that your brain goes, hey, when I use Atraxa, maybe I should look if I can go to discard after using Atraxa, right? Like that's just like a small thing that you hope that you think about when it matters.
Exactly. And I could have Thoughtseized that Children's Edict. I would have had a Thoughtseize or would have had Archon in play still.
Yeah.
And now it's just a little awkward for me because I'm sitting
exactly. And that's kind of what I mean when these games with this deck are like they're good until they aren't. And I mean, there's no way you're losing this, but they're good until they're not. And now, like, given a couple of bad circumstances or something, like we're potentially in a position where an unlosable game becomes losable somehow.
Like, I just ripped the Reanimate, but again, like I drew nicely there, but this game could have very easily gone worse, and I made small mistakes to miss that. So I think this time I do play the Murktide.
Yeah, but I think that's also like when people make jokes about like, hey, just Entomb Reanimate plus Forcible. Certainly that happens, right? But like, look at all these small decisions that you have that whether you do or don't get punished, you still have all these decisions to make. And when you're playing against really good players who are drawing the cards they need to draw and you're not giving yourself all the best little spots to win are games that you lose that you can't afford to lose,
Yep.
because they're controllable.
And right now, I think
They're-
decent play of or semi decent play where I Murktided for leaving 5 instants in the graveyard.
so the second one gets bigger.
Yeah, so I think the small
Yeah.
misplay I made is I could have actually gone full retail on that because I could still entomb for an instant on my next turn and done that twice.
Yeah, like Entomb for another Entomb or something like that. Yeah.
And that would hit for exactly 13.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, sorry, go
just
on.
a quick little recap. So like if you pause the video here because you got the
Yep.
list pulled up and stuff, like what is your overall feeling of the list, the matchups? Like you played a pretty good smattering of things. What are anything that you immediately look at and are like, hey, I think I should do something a little different, or
I think I really liked the 75. I think Cling was probably the weakest card in it. And then Shieldred's Edict was close enough to Bitter Triumph with small downsides that I could see making the swap to a second Bitter Triumph.
yeah,
But I like the configuration I have here. I think that the biggest improvement for me is going to be better Thoughtseize play, like not turn one Thoughtseizing quite as much as I need to when my hand can afford not to. But that's a decision making.
got it.
That's in the decisions and not
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
in the deck list. I think that this kind of list is very much season to taste, where my perfect 75 is not your perfect 75. And that doesn't mean that one of us is wrong. It's just how we play the deck, how we prioritize it, how we balance the various plans means that
100%.
like you want to have the cards in your deck like once they're at a threshold level of like, yeah, this card's good enough for Blue Black Reanimator. Once you're at that threshold, is it the best for I want the cards that are best for me. You want the cards that are best for you.
Yeah, and I think that like part of that goes to like if you're thought seizing on one, like if there are certain people, like let's say that you're more prone to thought seize or play a Tameo, like those are two different things, or you're like end stepping in Tomb. Like the how you prefer to try and play the deck or play the hands on average that you have kind of helps support what the like supporting cast should look like to support the way that you're playing to help you play more effectively that way. That's why when you see like the Zoomers lists, they don't have creatures, a bunch of extra creatures in the sideboard, and therefore they have like more answers to leyline and stuff like that because they're leaning more in on the reanimator plan. And so their supporting cast is going to back up that, and their play style almost certainly is going to be leaning into the reanimator really heavy and mulliganing and making Thoughtseize choices and sequencing choices based off understanding that that's how they're going to win most of their games. And so I think when you look at some of these things, you just say, hey, based on how I like to play, and then also based on how you don't want to lose, like decks that you would prefer not to lose to that you can add an extra card like the Force of Negation or whatnot are just kind of decisions that make you comfortable when you sit down from a random opponent that this configuration is going to do most of the things that you want against the things that you want it to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really, really loved having you on and going through like this league where I honestly thought like, oh, I probably made a few mistakes here and there. I did not realize how many little edges I gave up throughout the course of the league. Like that was crazy to me.
Yeah, so it's funny. I've been watching a ton. I've been recording like my own stuff and I'll go back and watch it. And the thing that a lot of people need to realize is even very good players miss a bunch of little things. It's like, do you make 90+% of your decisions right? And with how many decisions you made in that league, you still could have been at the 90% decision making right? So it's like, do you make a very large percentage of them right because you're a good player, and then how do you just try and minimize and get as close to 100% of the correct decisions as you can, and that's how you just continue to work towards winning tournaments. But yeah, if I go back and watch my matches, it's the same thing. You're gonna find a bunch of things where you're just like not thinking about the right things in the moment. You weren't focused, or you've never seen it before, like the animate dead consign thing, or whatever. Insert XYZ.
Yeah, and no one's gonna get to flawless play. Like analyzing these things, I'm not gonna internalize and remember every single thing we just covered. What I am gonna notice is trends, right? I'm gonna be like, okay, I should be in general more cognizant of how I lead off my first turn, whether it's Thoughtseize or Entomb. Look at my land count. If I Thoughtseize into Exposed Wasteland, what happens to me? What goes wrong if I Thoughtseize? Or if I time this Entomb now, what am I beating? What am I losing to? If I wait, what am I beating? What am I losing to? Things like that. Those are the patterns I noticed throughout my like relatively minor errors, but they're big enough to lose games. I also made a couple strategy mistakes with regard to binning a Barrowglyph and keeping a fatal push against blue-red cutter when I didn't need to. That playing Barrowglyph and reanimating Barrowglyph plan that you brought up wasn't something that was at the forefront of my mind. I was kind of considering the Barrowglyph plan and the Reanimator plan as just two completely separate paths, when jam Barrowglyph, attempt to reanimate Barrowglyph is kind of a nice middle ground where the Barrowglyph isn't going to win as many games as, say, like Atraxa or Archon, but it's 75% as good.
Yeah, and it's not going to lose as hard to the things that going all in on Atraxa loses to. But I think that that's really good insight. And I think the other thing when you think of it is also just understanding where you are in a game, and we talked about it quite a bit, is where to continue putting pressure and pushing even when you're ahead, and understanding what happens if, like, how are you ahead? Are you ahead because you have exactly one fatty in play? What happens if they remove that fatty? Like, what is your position now? Does it go from like a unlosable position to like a tenuous position? And if it does, like, should we be committing more resources instead of playing passively? Should we be casting cantrips, looking for more proactive options? And I think that that's the second part, is no deck in Legacy right now is not going to be able to interact with Blue-Black Reanimator. So you have to assume my opponent can interact with you. What happens if they do? Are you being proactive enough to still win a game of Magic, or are you going to fall too far behind?
Yep, there was a spot where I didn't cast a Murktide, and I absolutely could/should have. That play with the Tameo, where I could have kept the Force of Will in my hand and then sacrifice my Tameo to redraw the Entomb or the Reanimate, whatever it was. Like stuff like that. The staying ahead is super important with this deck, and you got to play carefully to do it, because you're right, it can collapse like a house of cards. This was a really, really awesome video. Thank you so much for coming on, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I hope for the viewers, I hope that this was entertaining and hopefully good Eternal Weekend prep for you. It certainly was for me. So thanks, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.